Welcome to Mama of the Wild Crew podcast, the podcast where we embrace the messy, wild, beautiful journey of motherhood together. I'm your host, Alexa Schmoker, mama of two beautiful kiddos, wife, nurse, and lover of Jesus. Motherhood is full of hard moments, unexpected chaos, and those days where you just really don't have it all together. But in the midst of it all, there is so much joy. On this podcast, we're diving into the real, honest conversations about motherhood, the challenges, the triumphs, and everything in between. We'll hear the stories of incredible moms from all walks of life, share wisdom, laughter, and let's be real, probably a few tears. And we're going to discover how to embrace the joy in this chaos. So whether you're rocking a baby to sleep, folding that never-ending pile of laundry, or sneaking away for a quiet moment with your coffee, welcome, Mama. You're not alone here. Hit subscribe and join me on this wild adventure of motherhood. I can't wait to do this journey with you. Welcome back, Mamas, to another episode of Mama of the Wild Crew podcast. Today's guest is living proof that resilience, faith, and purpose can transform even the hardest beginnings into something deeply beautiful. Tanya Davis-Ezedema, did I say that right?
You did.
Oh, I got it. Okay. Is a wife, mama of two boys, one grown and one still in diapers, and the founder of Butterfly Rising Institute. Her journey is nothing short of extraordinary. From beginning a single mother in college to climbing the ranks of leadership at one of the world's busiest airports, to building a coaching movement for working moms, navigating both career and chaos, Tanya's story is real, raw, and soaked in redemption. She's a life coach, a faith-filled powerhouse, and the kind of woman who reminds you that you're not alone, even if life feels like too much. Tanya, welcome to the podcast. I'm so honored to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you for that introduction.
Oh, you're so welcome. Okay, so tell us a little bit about yourself and your boys and just a little bit about your life.
Where do I start at? That's so. Well, as you said, my name is Tanya Davis-Ezedema. I'm still getting adjusted to that last name in regards to just adding it. I am 40-something, mid 40s, and I have two boys who are 22 years apart, believe it or not. One is, as you said, 10 months old, in diapers, very active, very talkative as well, especially at 3 a.m. in the morning. And then I have he's soon to be 23 years old, young adult who knows everything, and I can't tell him one thing because he forgets that I used to be his age.
Right. You don't know anything at all. That is so crazy, navigating having an adult child, which I cannot even imagine. I just think back and I'm like, I feel so sorry for my mom for all the things I put her through in those like early 20 years.
Yeah, they are very, and I look back on my time of raising my son and just reminded that there's just no perfect way to do it. Like you think that you're doing it perfect during that time. I'm going to join the PTA and I'm going to join every committee possible at his school so he knows that I'm present. Mm-hmm. But they still end up doing what they want to do. And so really, I just try to keep that in mind with the second one. Mm-hmm. They're going to do what they want to do. Mm-hmm. And understanding, truly being able to prioritize with purpose.
Right.
Rather than always putting my child I love my children. I love them to death. But sometimes, it's okay to take a pause in a moment for me.
Oh, absolutely. And how old were you whenever you had your oldest son?
When I had my oldest son, I was 22 years old.
Oh, so the same age.
Yeah, I was 22. I got pregnant at 21, right after turning 21. So I wasn't even able to enjoy being 21. All that comes with that, right? So I got pregnant at 21 during my senior year of college and had him at 22. And at the time when I got pregnant with Sammy, his name is Sammy. When I got pregnant with Sammy, I had many professors ask me to drop out because, during that time, I didn't fit the mold, right? I'm single, I'm young, African American, and really didn't fit that mold of being successful with the kid. Also, having a very toxic relationship. And the relationship primarily from him was toxic, but you pick up certain behaviors during that time in regards to just wanting to stay. So
Mhm.
it's quite natural, to want to argue. It's quite natural to fight back and then think that that is normal.
Mhm.
And so I had all this going on at the age of 22 when Sammy entered into this world, and not really having the tools to be able to equip myself to be successful. I ended up successful. However, it was a journey to be able to get there and understanding what it means to make tough choices, to really be able to weed out what needs to be weeded out.
No, absolutely. And I cannot wait to dive into that journey. But first, we're going to
Yeah.
ask the question of the podcast. Okay, so Tanya, so all the moms that come on here, we, can be absolutely crushing it. Like you said, like we prioritize our kids and everything. And sometimes, we stress ourselves out doing that. And we're trying to be these perfect moms. And it is without fail that we have a mom fail. So Tanya,
Yeah.
hit us with one of just your cringiest mom fails.
Oh boy. I mean, there's so many.
Right? I'm like, there
Uh,
are too many for me.
I believe one of my mom fails was being a helicopter mom. I oftentimes say that to myself in regards to really being afraid to allow my child to make bad choices and deal with the consequences.
Mhm.
I always wanted to be what we call, in my world, the sweeper, where you come up, they make a huge mistake, they know that they made that mistake, but here I am to be able to soften the blow for that mistake. And Sammy was a straight A student. He wasn't bad, but he still had those moments in school where, he wanted to follow the flock. And so oftentimes, dealing with teachers, dealing with the other children's parents, I would often become that helicopter mom in regards to, okay, well, we got to fix this. It's broke. We got to fix it. We got to fix it. And that's why I oftentimes refer to shattered glass. It's okay to have that shattered glass and to be able to build back up. But I think that's one of my cringiest moments. And then also uh, with Simon, just thinking about, sometimes I'll let the diaper go a little bit longer than what it needs to, especially if I'm sleeping. I'm like, he's okay. He's not, he's not suffering. He's not dying. He's all right. So really just kind of just not sweating the small stuff. I
Yes.
sweated the small stuff in my 20s.
Well, I need to hear that too. And I feel like I've even seen a change in myself just from like my second kid. So I have a daughter that's 3.5, and then I also have a 10-month-old boy.
Oh, congrats. So
Yes,
you know what I'm going through.
I do, girl. I do. And my daughter was kind of a challenging baby. And I feel like I just would get myself so worked up about all of these little things. And kind of like you said, like helicopter parent, just on everything. And even
Yeah.
just the shift that I've seen in myself to my second is just completely different. I feel like I'm starting to like just let him experience and let go of control. I mean, with her, like I didn't want anyone to hold her. I was freaked out about
Yep.
germs. Like no one could parent her the way I do. No one knows what they're talking about, just like anxious. And
Right.
you soon come to realize that you cannot do all of this by yourself. Like you need help, and other people actually know a lot more than you do. So,
Yeah. And being able to seek that advice and find a
mhm.
community where it's okay. I was just talking to a mom literally yesterday at work, and she's saying, Tanya, I'm having a hard time really being able to balance my children and my career. And having a challenge where everyone around you at your workplace believe that that career is the most important thing to you. You don't have an outside life. There's no second identity. And so her and I were talking through that in regards to, okay, what is it that you need to prioritize right now,
Mhm.
for understanding what's important and what's not important in regards to your career. There's three pillars that I follow: career, communication, and cash, and understanding what's really important within those three different areas.
Wow, that's beautiful. Well, let's dive into your story. So, your story is filled with such raw honesty from struggling as a single mom to now building this nationally recognized leadership program and
Yeah.
launching Butterfly Rising. Can you take us back to that turning point when pain became purpose for you? Hey there, Wild Crew Mamas. Some super exciting news. If you're like me these days, any day is a hat day. Literally, probably every day is a hat day. And we have two new hats for Mama of the Wild Crew podcast. I am so excited. And huge shout out to my sister in law, Brie, over at Schmoky Designs for taking these ideas and bringing them to life. We have Mama of the Wild Crew podcast hat, and we also have the cutest hat. It says Motherhood is my ministry, and ain't that the truth, guys? Head on over to our Instagram at Mama of the Wild Crew _podcast. DM me or comment on one of the posts and let us know that you want your hat today. Growing up, our parents had a super special tradition. We kept this big stork in our garage, and whenever someone either in town or one of our friends had a baby, we would all load up and go over to their house and put this stork in their yard to help them celebrate. It was one of my favorite childhood memories, and my sister Addison Sewell has carried on that tradition. She is the proud owner of Owasso Storks, offering personalized stork deliveries to families celebrating the arrival of a new baby. Whether it's a baby announcement, a baby shower, or to celebrate the birth of a little one, Owasso Storks is the perfect, thoughtful, sentimental gift. There are even options to celebrate proud big siblings and even those furry little family members. For a sweet, memorable gift, reach out to Owasso Storks. Check them out on Instagram. That's at Owasso Storks, at OWASSOSTORKS. And you can find their contact info in the show notes. Guys, this is just the sweetest gift. I have personally been blessed by a stork from Owasso Storks before Owasso Storks was a thing, and it was just the sweetest thing. So definitely reach out to Owasso Storks.
So where pain became purpose really for me was at I always give this story of socks, and it doesn't make sense, but it will. At the age of 10, I remember my son, when he was 10 years old, his father had moved in with us. And mind you, it takes 7 to 10 times to get out of a domestic violence relationship. And so we were nearing that like seventh, eighth, or ninth time for me to be able to truly make that decision. But my girlfriends and I, we had went to a summer jam concert. It was the hottest concert in town, and we decided to go. And I let my son stay home with his father during that time. And so I remember, the music is flowing. I'm like, something's not feeling right. Something's not feeling right. And so I was like, girls, we got to go. No questions asked. That's how you know you have real friends. All right, let's go. And so when we left, I rush inside, and my son is sitting in front of a pile of mismatched socks, sobbing and crying. His father had left and did not come back. And so that was one of the turning points for me in regards to seeing how much pain and suffering was occurring. Also, prior to the sock incident, we had a huge physical altercation the night before. So there were things that were leading up to it. And I had already told him it's time for you to go. But I had said it so many times before that sometimes it's like, okay, she's not serious this time. Well, when I saw the socks and I saw my son crying and saying he didn't come back home, I realized that a change needed to occur. I had already established during this time a change in my career. I had moved from the private sector to the public sector. So that was the option in career. And then for my communication, I said there has to be something more that I can do in regards to being able to help other women in the same situation as me, really being told by the government that you make enough money, where within here, I mentioned also that me, when Sammy was first born, trying to go to get government assistance. And at this time, I had a pretty good job, a good career. However, when I accepted the career, I did not realize I was going to be bringing a baby into the world. So with my son, I couldn't make ends meet at all. And so I went to our local county and tried to apply for assistance. And mind you, this was, 20 plus years ago. So you had to fill everything out by hand. There wasn't all the automations that we have right now. And so I'm standing at the window trying to fill everything out. And the lady does her calculations and she tells me that I'm $4 over and that I could not get assistance. And so once again, that pain, sitting there in that office or sitting there in that lobby, just bawling my eyes out. To this day, I still don't know where Sammy was. Thankfully, I found him, but I just remember just going to a chair, sitting down, sobbing and crying, and just really upset in regards to how am I going to make it? I can barely pay rent. I can't pay my car note. He needs food. I mean, Similac at that time, based on the economy, was still expensive. It's crazy now, but back then that was expensive to me. And so, just going through all these different emotions, there is pain after pain after pain, and so it's hard to pinpoint one pain that really changed. It was an accumulation of everything that really had me to be able to launch Butterfly Rising Institute and being able to build out this leadership program. Initially, it started for single moms who have a career, meaning that, they get up every day, they grind every day, they work every day, but then they still have to come home and do that second job without the support, really, of having someone live in the home. My family was great during this time. I was just independent. I could do it. I got it. Don't help me, type of thing. And so, really being able to learn and see as a single parent who had a decent income that it was still difficult. Everyone looks at you, you have it together, you're great. No, I didn't. I'm stuck in a domestic violence situation. I can't make ends meet. I'm working 12-hour days because of in public accounting, you have to work 55-hour weeks. It was difficult. And so, fast forward through all that pain, I started making different shifts in my career. Meaning that I got into change management. I got into process improvement. I got away from accounting, thank God. But I got away from accounting and I ended up in change management. And I ended up from this change management learning about process improvement, learning about what we call the A3, which is a problem solving tool. How best can I be able to help other women? And so from that was born And Still I Rise, the Making of a Butterfly, which was a ministry for women who were impacted by domestic violence. And we use that tool, the A3, to be able to navigate change, to be able to understand here's ways that you can get out of a domestic violence situation. Here's ways that you can talk to a family member because we're not going to listen right away. And so that came along, changed my career in regards to being able to be in the city and really being able to build out two big programs. So I have a nationally and internationally recognized training program that I do for small businesses out at the airport that I work at. And so that's really an honor to be able to do that. And then also on a quarterly basis, I have an authentic leadership program that I do for single moms within the city and county of Denver. However, once I had my son, I realized that there's still the same struggles in regards to being a single mom and a married mom. You still got to work all day, be the career woman, be that boss at work, and then come home, still be the boss woman and still be the mom, and still have to balance both of these worlds and understanding that I always say there's really no such thing as work-life balance.
Right.
It's really just being able to understand what needs to be priority at that moment in time. But it was still the same struggle, still dealing with the 5 dilemmas as a mom with what we call dual career responsibilities.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well, absolutely. And that takes us right into you talking about like that redefining balance and giving yourself permission not to be superwoman. What do you want moms to know when they feel like they're just constantly dropping all the balls?
I want them to know that it's okay to drop a ball. Um, if it doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger.
Hmm.
And understanding that it really intentional change takes one step at a time. And so oftentimes what happens is that we try to get all these balls to the finish line, right? You're in a race and you are wanting to be able to win that race, but you want to win the race in every single lane. But your lane's only lane 5 out of 8 lanes. And so really being able to understand that through chaos becomes that purpose, through chaos comes change. And so really understanding that it's okay if a ball gets dropped. However, don't leave that ball there,
Hmm.
right? And so when we talk about the 3 pillars in which I focus in on career, communication, and cash, I always have women pick at least one area that they want to be able to focus in on. What's weighing you down the most right now that's not helping you to be able to move forward? So if it's career, like the mom I spoke to yesterday, her career is really weighing her down. So, okay, how can we focus in on that to be able to have you make changes in your life to be able to get to the goal in which you want to get to? And then let's focus in on another area. Because right now, you may feel, or let me speak in um, during the time when I was raising Sammy, and now I learned with Simon, is that I had so many stressors that I was trying to manage that it did impact the communication that I had with my son. Because it's like you want to focus in, you want to run the race, but then you forget possibly what's the most important thing for you critically at that moment in time where your baby needs you, your child needs you, however age they are, they need you at that moment. So everything else must drop. So that's what I would say. It's just really being able to understand and to prioritize what's really important.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's so important too because I work full time too. So I get that. You're working full time, you've got the kids, you're just trying to like keep your house up, trying to do all the things
Right.
that come with it. I mean, there's so many different things. And like you said, adding a spouse in too, you might think might be easier, but that comes with different responsibilities too. You have the responsibility of being a wife and, managing.
They are exhausting. Let me just be real. They are exhausting. The husband is I love my husband, but he is exhausting. It's like sometimes I have 2 kids within this house. Um, Once again,
I know.
love my husband,
We
but it's
love them so much, but let's just keep it real. Yes, sometimes it can be an additional kid. It can be.
yeah, right. It's just it's a lot. It's a lot. And
It,
so just yeah,
yeah,
it's the same problems.
absolutely. Well, I want to know more about Butterfly Haven. So it isn't just a space. This feels like an absolute movement born from both the struggle and your healing. So, what is the heartbeat behind creating it? And when a woman steps into that space, exhausted, maybe even questioning her worth, what do you hope she feels, learns, and ultimately believes about herself?
Yeah, Butterfly Haven is a space for the mom to be able to first take a moment to breathe.
Hmm.
First, take a moment to understand that it's okay to scream, yell, or cry. And then being able to have a safe space with other women to be able to collaborate, to be able to talk, and then also to be able to reflect and know that it's okay. We use different sorts of change management tools. I keep going back to that. I am a nerd, but we can use different change management tools to be able to get them to clarity, from chaos to clarity, to be able to find peace where they're at in their situation. And oftentimes they realize through Butterfly Haven that the solution really wasn't all that big of a solution, right? Sometimes when we have a problem in our head, we make it huge. There's just no way I can solve it. But we're able to break down whatever problem issue that they are going through into bite-sized pieces and understanding step by step how is it that you can make this better. And so Butterfly Haven is just that. It's a space for a woman to be able to feel empowered, to be able to have a voice, and to be able to move forward in a collective unit.
That's beautiful. And you're so right, where things can just grow in the dark, whenever you're
Yeah,
keeping those secrets or those thoughts or whatever it may be. So I love that you provide a space for women to not just get that out, but then, like you said, go back to that change and those things that like, let's write this down, let's talk this out. This problem isn't so big and so scary, or maybe it is big and scary.
yeah.
But there's a way through it, and there's people here to walk alongside you and help you through it. So that is so beautiful. And this is in Denver, is that correct?
I do them virtually. So we
Oh,
do it in the Zoom space. So women from all over, honestly, the US join
okay.
Butterfly Haven. And so our one in August focuses in on the grief process, understanding the grief process, what needs to be let go. So it's titled Beauty in the Breaking, where pain becomes purpose.
I love that.
So, yeah, so we'll create a sacred space to explore the tender, hidden strength inside your pain. When you've carried so much emotionally, mentally, and spiritually, it can feel like breaking. But what is the breaking? But what if this breaking is the birthplace of something greater? So, there's been a lot of death around me
Mhm.
um, in the past month. Me losing my mom, we lost four people at our church within a 2 week time frame. Uh, and so um, just wanting to understand the grief process. That was part of it is part of actually my PhD research, and it was also part of my capstone when I got my master's. But this is a crucial process to understand in regards to what are the phases of grief that we are going through, and how can we best pinpoint where we're at so that we don't stay stuck there, you
Yeah.
know?
Absolutely. And you've walked through so many seasons: love lost, love restored, deep grief. You just had the loss of your mom in the midst of bringing new life in with the birth of your son. And through all of it, your faith has been a constant anchor. So, how has your relationship with God shaped the way you led, the way you mother, and the way you serve today, especially in this new season of motherhood? What has it taught you about finding joy in the middle of this chaos?
God is my everything,
Mhm.
is what I've learned. Um, and to be real with God, to understand that He knows when you're upset, you can't hide it. He knows when you're hurt, you can't hide it. But understanding that God is omnipotent and that He can be there to help you through anything that that you're going through, and how powerful faith is. Even though you can't see it, you know that it's going to happen. You know, as we were walking through my mom's pain, her death, going through that whole year of her having cancer and me being by her side, I always thought that God was going to pull her through. God was going to have this miraculous story, right? At the end, she was able to triumph the cancer and live this long life, but it didn't work out that way. I thought at the age of 22 that I would be married and have the white picket fence, that I don't like dogs, but have like two or three cats, in my house, and that perfect picture, right? That didn't happen. I thought I'd be married by the age of 30, just being able to find someone out there, but that did not happen. And so, what God has shown me is that our story is rich, our story is creative, and we must use our story to be able to help others, to be able to provide that testimony, whatever it may be. And it does not turn out the way that we want to, but it turns out the way that God wants to. And to understand that we are serving in His kingdom. And so it may not, when you have a calling, you have a calling, and God will not let you go
Mhm.
until that calling is fulfilled. And so you have to go through all these beautiful stories. Um, Painful, yes, but beautiful. You have to go through all these beautiful stories in order to get to the point in which you need to. When I started my first ministry, and Still I Rise, the making of a butterfly, I followed John 15, 1 through 4. And so what it says is, I am the true vine, and my Father is the gardener. He cuts off every branch in me that bears no fruit, while every branch that does bear fruit, he prunes, so that it will be even more fruitful. You are already clean because of the word I have spoken to you. Remain in me as I also remain in you. No branch can bear fruit by itself. It must remain in the vine. Neither can you bear fruit unless you remain in me. So in order for me to continue being able to produce fruit, I must stay with God. In order to be able to continue moving forward, I must stay with God, no matter how hard it is to stay with Him. No matter the pain, the suffering that I may feel, I must stay with God and stay in His kingdom. I wouldn't have been able to deal with my mom unless I went through the pain of understanding that, hey, my career isn't everything. Right now, my family needs me. I learned that early on through raising Sammy. Mm-hmm. Being able to understand that every argument with my husband, it is not that serious, knowing the pain and the suffering that I've been through with past relationships. And so just me staying in him, I've been able to bear more fruit and sticking with whatever his story ending may be, even though it may not parallel with mine or match with mine.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. That is so beautiful. Thank you for sharing that.
Amen.
And with going on to the Butterfly Haven and your Zoom meetings, how would someone find and connect with you and get involved with that?
Yeah, our website is www.butterflyrisinginstitute.com. Also, they can find us on Facebook through that same name, Butterfly Rising Institute. And then our Instagram handle is BTRFly_rise.
Okay. And I will link all of that in the show notes too. So everyone,
Okay.
make sure you check that out. If this is something that speaks to you, please reach out. Tanya, thank you so much for showing up today with your full heart, unfiltered. You are so full of wisdom and just overflowing with grace. And I know this is just audio, but I wish everyone could see you because you're so beautiful and just the way you speak is so eloquent. So thank you so much. You've reminded all of us that motherhood doesn't require perfection, but it does ask for presence, faith, and a whole lot of courage. You've walked through storms most people would have crumbled under, and you didn't just survive, but you rose. You created something beautiful for other women to find healing, strength, and community, and that's sacred work. That is kingdom work. And every mama listening, if Tanya's story has stirred something in you, don't brush it off. Like she said, the Lord is going to keep coming for you. So follow that pool. Whether you're navigating your own storm or standing on the edge of something new, you don't have to do it alone. So go visit butterflyrisinginstitute.com and follow them on Instagram and Facebook. Again, I will link it below. And you also have a YouTube channel, right?
I do. I have a YouTube channel as well where I interview other moms. And so that's the same in regards to Butterfly Rising Institute 7665.
Well,
Yeah.
perfect. And again, I will link all that so you guys check it out because you too are rising, mama out there, one step at a time. So until next time, remember you're not alone, you're not behind, and you're not broken. You are becoming. So stay wild, stay wonderful, and stay beautiful, mamas. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining us. Mama, I'm so grateful that you took time out of your busy schedule today to listen to Mama of the Wild Crew podcast. I'm Alexis Schmoker, and I hope you loved this conversation and that it resonated with you. Thank you so much for opening up your circle and letting us in as we walk through this wild ride of motherhood together. Remember, in the chaos of motherhood, there is always joy to be found. So keep looking in those little moments that make it all worth it. Be sure to follow along on Instagram at mamaofthewildcrew_podcast. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share our podcast. I'd love to hear from you, so comment, tag me, DM me, let me know what you think, and let me know what you'd like to hear next. Mama, I am praying for you, I love you, and I cannot wait to see you next time.